You know what? Another division that's really scary.
Yeah, it might in fact be platinum.
Ugh.
What
Ugh.
is a spooky division, I can
Yeah,
tell you firsthand.
yeah. So scary that you don't even want to play your games. Is that what's going on?
We'll see. My schedule's been really crazy, but we'll see what happens.
Yep. All right. Well, anyway, uh, both Ryu and Lazy Bear have been doing actually pretty darn well. Lazy Bear especially.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Lazy
So Lazy Bear.
Bear just on a hot streak right
Yeah,
now, just not even losing.
yeah,
So
yeah. It has
really solid.
one draw to his name currently, I think, and that's it. Everything else is just he keeps winning anyway. Picks and bans. Apparently, Ryu not as much of a fan of Redwoods as uh, players in the last set. It shall be banned. Uh, Lazy Bear is banning Ballroom.
And
The
then
Yeah.
you're going.
Yep. Ryu is only restricting Aquarium. I think this is a bit of an odd choice given Lazy Bear's past Aquarium shenanigans. I feel like you can't let Lazy Bear play Aquarium.
Yeah. The problem with Lazy Bear's aquarium is obviously the spy's nasty, but he does also have a really good sniper, and
Yeah.
it's just something that you don't want to play him against.
Yep. Well, anyway, Lazy Bear, for whatever reason, restricts Courtyard.
He doesn't want to play a map that is a bit too linear. I think Ryu does have a strong advantage on
Yeah.
Courtyard if they do end up there.
Alright, well, anyway, they will end up on Balcony, though, which is Ryu's doubled pick.
It's
That's interesting.
interesting because
Yes.
I remember in my match at least Lazy Bear picked Balcony versus me, so
Hmm.
maybe he saw something in a previous set that Lazy Bear played with Balcony
Yeah,
and
I don't know.
trying to exploit it.
Yeah, we'll see. Lazy Bear is gonna let us watch some more doubled high rise.
So Lazy Bear has won a lot of the venue tournaments, but his high rise tournament was particularly notable. In the first, I think, 18 games, he won 17 of them. Uh, and his 3 or 5 instincts are just off off the chain. Now, the reason it's not banned is he's just also very scary on other things too.
Uh-huh.
I think Lazy Bear has more maps that he is the best player on in Platinum than
Yep. Well, I
anybody
mean,
else.
he has won four of the venue tournaments, and I think runner up in others. So yeah, he's scary in too many venues. Anyway, the single pick from Ryu shall be Taeyen.
Pick the two ban and restrict the two occlusion venues to pick Tan.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know, right?
I'm not sure. Well, anyway, Lazy Bear, not too much of a surprise, is selecting Aquarium as their final venue. So if maybe Rio's hope is that since that's going to be the last venue, maybe we just won't get there.
Ryu's just hoping to win 7-3.
Yeah,
Good luck, Ryu. Lazy Bear's been so on fire. He hasn't lost a set. If you're getting the blowout on him, something has gone seriously wrong. We do have an absolutely crazy draft here, though, and with balcony and high rise being incredibly volatile, I think is probably the word I'm going to choose here.
I mean all of these maps are, right? So
And
I
then
don't know if you can say it favors anybody just because of how like it could just be completely one-sided. Like I would not be surprised if the scoreline was 7-1 or
either way.
7-0 even. Yeah.
I think is Taiyan the most sensible map that we've picked? Like, is that really the reality that we live in? Is now because Taiyan has slightly less people, it is actually the safe spot on this pick order. We've gone we've gone too far. I'm looking at some balcony here, and got Ryu playing salmon.
that is what I see. I'm ready to
Cool,
go.
then let's do it. We're gonna see if he's gonna be up to anything fishy in 3, 2, 1, playing it. Oh, he is up to something fishy. Purloin's on.
Oh, and
Wow.
Ryu said afterwards that he did tell Lazy Bear ahead of time before
Oh
the
yeah,
match starts.
it's good courtesy when you aren't picking bug to remind your opponent that you don't
Enemy in the
have.
red.
Oh, Purloin right now. Let's go. Let's go. Double green, BB and Purloin here on balcony. We've got 30 seconds in. There goes the list. The fade looked pretty covered, honestly. Ryoo's got 5 seconds left. The shot has to come off. Lazybear does take the shot, but it's on the low light. He's just not confident on the reject or the fade, and Ryooo wins the game. Welcome to Balcony. And that one will be in the daily challenge, because it went over 30 seconds, despite the fact it was incredibly quick.
I guess picking Purloin that's what I mean by the volatility of this map, though. Like, imagine Ryu just whites there. It's just the game is over because
Did you talk during that game?
I don't think so. I just was watching it happen. I said, "Wow, Purloin is up," and then Green Purloin happened. I guess.
Okay.
I guess. Wait, there were 2 rejects. Okay, it wasn't that bad. Oh, we
Yeah.
requested. The only thing that really could have been caught was the request. Yeah, I thought Toby's path did look weird. It was about to get offered to the DA, but then Ryu was wanted to make sure that he got the chance to take it, and since he didn't white, it was down to like 3 people. So unless
Yeah.
Lazy Bear's only chance there was really to catch the Toby redirect.
Yeah, with Taft doing that's a really suspicious timing there at the very beginning of the game where Taft did the reject and then left like half a second later. It's really hard to do a reject and then leave immediately like you do with a banana bread, just because if you fail it, you crash and then you lose. Especially on balcony where other than the piercing noise of a crash or a cough, uh, there's no chance that they miss it. So Ryo just leaning into that and then getting someone else shot entirely. It's just Kane, just because Lazy Bear's just not ready for the fade. We just talked more about this balcony game than the balcony game took.
And now you got Lazy Bear as spy,
What
not turning Purloin on.
what
The
a
standard
scrub! Not
setup.
putting Purloin on. I can't stand this. And we'll
Alright.
get this started in 3, 2, 1. Playing it. He'll take that. 51%, please. Nope, 34. The really early talk is always interesting on balcony. Sometimes when just like nobody else is in conversation except for one other person and someone talks, it just looks incredibly AI like. In this case, I think you have to credit the flirt, especially because we're just between 2 people quite tightly.
I mean, it's balcony. Not too much happening. We do choose not to leave, so probably
Banana
gonna
bread.
get some suspicion here. We do leave
Interesting
one.
choice to take the banana bread at a weird time instead of taking it at a time when everybody's in conversation. I think what Lazy Bear might be leaning into is Smallman just talking during the banana bread and having knowledge that they talked early in the game. We got the 85%. Yeah, we're dying for assumed 2 green or assumed 3 green game. Wow.
Yeah, and that's a reasonable shot if you're expecting that. It's just a lot of the time, it's just not going to be that way. So that's just how it goes.
Yeah, we green the banana bread. Um, and if we hit 2 green flirts, I mean, we would have won the game. Ryo just taking the shot that most people are just not willing to take, and it is the spy, just a fantastic choice. And maybe this is some preparation. If you're picking balcony against someone, either he just doesn't like the maps he has to choose against Lazy Bear because Lazy Bear is such a killer on a lot of the maps, or it's, and this is my suspicion, it's some preparation, something that he saw in a prior game or a prior set.
Absolutely. Now we
Okay.
got Ryu up 2-0 on the spy, doing the same setup with Purloin in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Yeah, I've played Purloin on NSCL a couple times now. I don't think I've ever actually done the Purloin, but I don't love Purloin 2 games in a row. That being said, I think uh, the problem here is Ryu really gonna Purloin again?
Banana bread.
Are we?
It's the
Do
same
we? Oh,
setup.
he's doing the exact same thing. Let's go. Another green? Nope. This one's a white test. This should be death. The list was very visible. Are we dancing? We are hiding. This is kind of dancing, but Seek does not give us enough cover, and Lazy Bear takes the shot. How precise was that? You want to look at the replay, Kludos? Okay. Not a perfect hidden spot there. We could always shoot the
No, it was
ponytail, but
when I actually did a cast of this game, and I said he got the first he started to dance. He got the first half of dancing right, which is to move, but the second half of the dancing, which is keep moving, he did not get right.
he only did the cha, not the cha cha.
Yeah.
Yeah, without the ponytail though, I could. This would be a tougher shot. So maybe ponytail for if you're a spy. Got to cut that off. Make your hitbox better.
Or hear me out, just be a few feet tall.
But yeah, I mean, if you got a green there though, that puts Lazy Bear again into a 50-50 with two characters that rejected. So maybe something to
Yeah.
consider for future balcony games where it's just like you're relying on your skill to hit one green test. If you hit it, you have a 50-50. If not, you lose. It just depends on what your odds what you think your odds are already on balcony.
I mean, he could have put himself into a better spot, though, right? I mean, into a spot where the fade wasn't so obviously visible.
Yeah,
That's true.
but then you look like you're pro lining.
Yeah, but
So yeah, it's balcony. There's no good place to purloin, let's be real. We got Lazy Bear as red dress here. What a pansy, not putting on purloin. He's still playing bug like someone who's only playing in 2019. And we'll get started here in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Yeah, just ignore the print meta that KW
Oh
had
no, don't
tried to
no
start.
no print meta. No, 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 no. The idea behind the print meta, that's something we can talk about while balcony happens and no flirts happen. The idea with the print meta is if you just believe that you're never really going to bug anyways, that it takes up more of their attention and you get like a 2% chance that someone does two prints. The problem with balcony though is there just aren't many prints. There's only the briefcase is the only thing that you can actually get a print from, unlike other maps where
also
there's statues
drinks,
and stuff.
theoretically.
And Drake.
Banana bread.
And because the map is so small, Ambassador is often just standing on top of his briefcase for a lot of the game. There just aren't as many briefcases as you'd uh, hope to see. If like the balcony was a bit bigger, then maybe that'd be a bit different, but it's just not. We got the banana bread and 41% flirt. We're not highlight in a party full of highlights. We're actually the first low light. Lazy Bear, if they can finish flirt, and I think it's gonna be quite reasonable to do so, is in a great position to bring this back to 2-2.
I really like Lazy Bear's decision, by the way, to pick a slow character so that they can preemptively predict where they're going. That first flirt that Lazy Bear got, Lazy Bear beat Sorry to the window, but Lazy Bear knew that Sorry was going to be there already, just based off the path. So felt like that was a really wise decision. Just pick a slow character, pick a medium character as yourself, and then you can make it look like the ST is flirting with you and not the other way around.
Good stuff from Lazy Bear. Ryu deciding not to shoot boots for an early finish, though did flash. The problem is Lazy Bear just I think might have been the least suspicious person at the party in Ryu's mind, and that's just not the case.
Yeah,
That's
you
a
can
spy
see
finish
at
mission.
148 like Lazy Bear notices that Orange Dress is moving and just automatically goes to the window and knows, hey, Orange Dress is either getting a conversation or is going to the window and just gets that first for free. Where and then obviously Ryu's thinking, oh, Orange Dress met Oprah there at the window. It's Orange Dress with one flirt, not the other way around.
Classy stuff here from Lazy Bear, finding a way to win on his opponent's balcony pick, and now we get to see more shenanigans with High Rise. It's going to be Purloin on, which I think is more often than not the right thing to do. And we're playing some Kane in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Turning Prince off is something I personally don't agree with. I personally hate the little inspect meta, but that's what happens sometimes.
The
Do get a highlight here, maybe for bug. It was close enough that maybe Lazy Bear thought Ryu could get that behind the screen, so that might be a big factor here.
The issue with Prince on is you do put yourself in a spot where if you're at the end of the game and you have a bit of bad AI luck, say Ambassador goes to the statues he's at right now or double agents out, and you're looking for that last mission to finish in an otherwise really well played game, and you go, oh yeah, I can't finish two
Banana bread.
fingerprints in 30 seconds, when you really wish that you could have Purloin. Obviously, fingerprints have their own benefits because AI can finish them and they can be quite sneaky.
But
We got
what
51,
a
we got banana bread.
fake! That was so good. That's so fortunate that the SD is not in there, but having it that entire top CC is fake is huge for Ryu. Now he's can't be credited with finishing, so that is a really nice start.
We're moving over for the second
Banana bread.
contact. this one's also green. Rio's just been really hot on his green tests. I think that might be why he picked balcony. He's just really feeling the purloin, really feeling his ability to play these very like if you can just hit green banana bread and two green flirts here and a green purloin, you still win. It's just balcony plus, right?
Yeah. Now we're just gonna be going to the
Everybody
window
has
here, just
banana bread.
slowing it down. I
Yeah.
mean, not much going on here. The main thing we do have to be careful about is this flirt. If we don't green this next one, we are going to be a little bit behind. And yeah, Rio actually deciding to take a really far flirt, just opting to maybe get the guaranteed two flirt.
Yeah, we need to get at least 25% here. And this conversation, we're not gonna get a timer flirt. Like we can try and do the math here, or we can, we can just hit. Ooh, nasty. We're doing the green purloin into quick request into, I assume, a take, and then the next person's gonna look really suspicious. Um, it looks like Lazy Bear is watching for the purloin, but it just didn't happen. I'm suspicious that we might just get shot as soon as the list actually does disappear, though.
Yeah, Queen does reject though. That saved us there. If Queen takes, we probably just lose the game on the spot because
Another
uh
reject, that's helpful.
we knew. Yep, that actually might just win us the game because now I don't think that trick was seen. Otherwise, Ryu would be dead on the spot. And now, yeah, this is gonna just be so hard for Lazy Bear to know. Yeah.
Cowboy's a rejecter, but he's not the spy. It's a win for Ryu. Ryu's spy, I admire it a lot. And instead of it just being sensible plays today, it's three purloins in three games on maps that have at most 12 people. So good stuff, but it's been absolutely mad.
Yeah, just needed a little bit of AI luck there, and then obviously just some luck with hitting the greens. So, I mean, if you keep on hitting greens, Purloin's going to be a really good option for you.
Yeah, this is when I had to like imagine playing Crazy Kaylee and Diamond. This is the sort of gameplay that I wanted to see, by the way. It's just like, hey, let me hit some green purloins and then just have a big reject chain and try and camp this. Uh, in this spot, Ryu's just being a bit more clever and keeping himself from being shot there with the reject into take, but uh, it's it's really good play, and I'm happy to see it. Let's see if we can keep it up here on the sniper side, though. Uh-oh, that's a small man, and we're playing some Lazy Bear high rise in three, two, one, playing it.
Yeah, when you see Smallman, you don't you. It's usually not a mistake. It's usually very deliberate. Honestly, I think Smallman on high is underrated. Just because he doesn't have that many advantages to him, he's just like, I'm just picking a character that's inherently more suspicious.
Yeah,
But
so
I think you
Smallman.
could get away with cheese on this map, especially involving talks.
So the nice thing about Smallman and high rise is because it's 3 or 5, and you're not doing swap or purloin. Toby bending down and making the tray more visible, or you not being able to do any sort of body block, doesn't matter. Uh, you're not going to be time adding on high rise. It's, I think, the worst map to do it on, and you're not going to uh, get as much benefit out of being small.
Yeah,
But
look at this angle from Ryu right now. This is bizarre way to play high res. You rarely see it. But it just completely on the right side, just holding for the bug. Just not rotating back.
I get really annoyed when I watch Ryu sometimes because it just looks like my play but better, and I'm just
It
like,
was the
why?
right play there, just because if Ryu does rotate back though, Lazy Bear would just standing bug. He was in range for that, so whenever Lazy Bear would see the rotate, he would just get that bug right away. So good job by Ryu to just hold there, wait for the ambo to move before rotating back.
We're requesting here, and I believe it's for a difficult fingerprint.
It is, and let's see if we can hit it. Greens have been on fire today. They continue to be. That is
Yeah,
going to be half a mission already. And the half printable drinks in particular are the least innocuous. They're so hard to catch.
least innocuous, most innocuous. This flirt's also really hard to catch. Lazy Bear is getting paid off here. We don't know as the spy that the person that we've been standing next to talking is an SDA, but if anybody's trying to flirt pair, Lazy Bear has done a really good job of not looking overly suspicious. we can sneak another print, I do believe there's at least one available somewhere.
Banana bread.
This is not a good banana bread, at least alibis wise.
Yeah, Wheels bailing did not help our case there. That would have been a huge highlight to keep in. But we're still in pretty good shape here. The question is, will Ryu shoot for a late print? Which Ryu is definitely capable of doing.
One of the problems with playing Ryu is he's very capable of many things. Uh, oh, sorry about that. Is it gonna be the briefcase? I don't recall any other prints, and I have a feeling the spy might be better at it than I am at this point.
There is a statue print available. I don't know if Lazybear knows about it, but the only other print's going to be this briefcase. And now Lazybear has to get close now in order to bully the Amba. It's getting too low on time.
Yeah, we were on camera. This is very much a platinum play. Like, if you're doing that sort of path against someone who is less confident about their bugs, you're gonna get shot a lot. Uh, Lazybear doing the fingerprint. We are kind of just covered too. This isn't actually the most obvious thing. Are we just gonna chill here the whole time? That's
Yeah, just
brilliant.
chill here, sitting here with the briefcase. That would have been a cool, funny
I'm
way
the
to
ambassador
finish.
now.
That's right. And Lazybear does sneak that one by. That play is super telegraphed at the end, but Ryu just isn't looking for it. But the bully into pick up the briefcase is definitely a play that if you see at the end of the like if you see with 1 minute less, 1 minute remaining, and you see that play happen, you should definitely keep an eye out for them because a lot of the time the spy loves to do this just because they want to guarantee the win.
Yeah, and the problem with the play too is it's very typically the last mission. You don't see people trying to do that and then do another mission very often. So when you see it, you kind of have to think, "Oh no, I'm shooting now or never." Uh, Good win from here from Lazy Bear, and we got more high rise. Ryu here on orange dress, classic high rise character, and we'll get started in 3, 2, 1, planet. My voice is going. This is gonna be thankful that we are only casting 2 sets, but they've been absolutely jam-packed with plays. Ryu, do you want to do a first player line? Deciding against it.
I'd be surprised if he goes for it. This is clearly some preparation ahead of time, so I honestly wouldn't mind it at all. Just going for it again.
Just it worked more or less 2 out of 3 times. So we can do it one more time. The problem is with high
Banana
rise,
bread.
if you do the white test, it's gonna be really hard for the fade not to be seen.
That is true. So I think Lazy Bear has been burned by it so many times that he might just be watching this really, really closely just to make sure he doesn't get burned by it yet again. So Ryu could mix it up here. So far, just playing it pretty slow. I mean, this has the potential to be any game he wants.
We're doing a good job here to rotate his camera to look at where the ambassador is. In this case, they are at the bookcase. Fingerprint's not off, but we do have fingerprint's not on, but we do have like bugging opportunities if we want it. You could get some nasty wrong arm, though it wouldn't be the right side for the wrong arm. You'd be showing the spy it.
Yeah, we do have a slow character with a fast Amba, so if we uh, go first in front of the Amba will catch up to us and we can get some really sick walking bugs. So look out for that as a possibility here.
52%. That's a really rare percent to see.
Don't see it way too often because you need like a really two weird flirts.
Okay, what's the plan here, Ryu? What's our third mission? If we're gonna be doing side statue, it's gonna need to be more or less now. We can always do mid statue, but I have a suspicion that we might get shot unless we hit 3 greens and somehow one cycle it, which is a possibility. Ambassador takes the widest path around us. Any dream of doing a bug there would have been folly.
Again, this briefcase is really nice. I like doing this innocent briefcase just because there's no way it can lead to any mission progress, and you reset so that you can get a closer flirt, potentially 3 green this seduce. And now
Deciding
we're in.
against like bug briefcase. We need to hit this green, honestly. Or, just fourth purloin. Why not? Why not? That one's white, though. Toby did walk away. The shot's likely to come off here, and we are talking for the flirt here. It needs to be now. It's another missed shot here for the purloin. Ryu's just getting away with murder.
These purloins are just not being watched closely enough. Like, I guess it's just he wouldn't purloin a fourth time, would he?
Yeah. Well,
I guess he wouldn't.
General did reject just before us.
Yeah, and just
So
not watching the fade closely enough. Yeah,
it was really hard to see the fade from the angle.
from his perspective, yeah.
Yeah.
Just looking at it, I think Lazybear was guarding Bug from Irish, so he had to swing over to the right. And then when you want to be catching this fade on Toby, you want to be all the way to the left. So he really isn't there. So then Toby just kind of blocks. It is catchable, but was not 100% on it. So ends up taking the wrong shot.
Ryu must just be incredibly confident about who's being invited to these parties at this point. He's gotten 4 lists in his pocket and gotten 3 wins from it. Uh, I'm running out of words here, so let's move on to the next one, get something else to talk about. We got Mom and we need some wins here from Lazy Bear to bring it back in 3, 2, 1, playing it. So when new art comes in and new art Damon and new art Toby, are you do you want just a new art version or do you want a completely new character Yish?
Okay
Like
with the newer version.
do you want
But
like
if
a
it was
Lady Security
renamed,
Guard maybe?
I wouldn't mind if it was completely renamed. Just leave Damon as the name. I would be okay with that too.
Do you want like a I I wouldn't mind like a female security guard, male waiter situation. I think Tricker's got a lot of options, and he's been absolutely fantastic about making diversity, both for just having a diverse cast, which is nice, but also making it so things like Taean are possible. Just everybody has very different silhouettes, obviously except for the twins.
No, one of the main things that makes this game so cool is the individuality of each character you play. You feel like you could just make up a backstory by each of them just by looking at them and the way they're animated. So that's one of the biggest things I love about this game.
Banana bread.
And that's
So we
a
got
good start here. Nice early flirt that's not too close. BB with only one person out. Typical high-rise game. It just depends on how we want to finish here.
yeah, these guys haven't been mixing it up. They've both been just forcing through Ryu with purloins and Lazy Bear with fingerprints and bugs on balcony. I think I would have liked a mix up. I think I would have liked to see a different mission setup here just because uh keeping the spy on their or sniper on their toes is good. 70% here, which is a-okay. We can finish with any close flirt here in the future. And it's always going to be the high rise question, similar to the courtyard question. What's the last mission going to be in these situations where you've done your banana bread and you're in a good position to finish flirt?
We do
Could be
have
purloins
print
here, but we don't have it on.
opportunities. There are some printable statues available too now. We can't really go to both of them, obviously, because we'll complete 4 missions then, and that is not really what you want to be doing on 3 of 5. But so far, playing this slow, seems like we're just going to lead to a final mission. But we don't have Purloin to rely on here. We
I
can't
don't
just
love
random
this.
Purloin.
I don't love this. So Lazy Bear is keeping away from his seduction target, afraid of the pairing, but is then putting himself next to 2 other people. He's really respecting his sniper's ability to pair and not really giving as much credit for if he's just been near Rocker or Twin and might get mispaired. It's incredibly respectful. I'm not sure I love it. Too much respect can be painful. There is like a bugging opportunity here, though it's a really hard bug to pull off
It would be
correctly.
like a wrong arm,
Yeah, it's
and
so hard.
it's
I've tried it
doable,
so
but
many times.
it is tricky. To make sure that the startup doesn't swing out too far.
This
And
is
we
where
do
you want
pass up
Purloin
on it.
on.
Yeah, it
This
is,
is
because
this
now
is a really hard bug to take, and I don't see any other option unless someone else gets shot, and I don't see it at the moment. There's not anybody getting lined up on. Lazy Bear's lining up the reverse drive-by, which is incredibly touchy. But 3 seconds. Come on, Ambassador, give it to us. He doesn't give it. He doesn't give it. He goes the other direction anyways. If he'd come by us, I think we would have been incredibly close to overtime. I think
yeah,
we might have run out of time anyways, but Ambassador jukes us anyways.
I think Lazy
Really
Bear
rough
wanted the
choice.
reverse bug going the other way, like Taft comes to the bookshelf but crosses through the mid conversation. That would have been a pretty good bug since you would have had some cover from Orange Dress and Oprah. But instead of taking the matters into his own hands, he waited for the Amba, and sometimes the Amba just doesn't give. So that's how the game goes. And
That That's such a choice. Like he could have made the decision to just bug into the bookcase, and that you get shot most of the time. Ryu's incredibly class. He's gonna shoot you for those sort of things, but instead goes for the much riskier line, and Ambassador never gives us the opportunity. So tough out. I really like the idea. I'm not sure if the execution was ever going to work though.
all right, and now I think is it tied up? No, Ryu's up by two.
I want to say Ryu 5-3, but
Yep,
I'm not
that is
OP.
5-3 is correct. Ryu won the
Yeah,
last.
it's been a
It
lot of
was
back and
tied up,
forth.
but then Ryu won the last two.
Mhm.
It's been a back and forth day here. Ryu right next to Toby here as general on Tien, and we'll get it here in 3, 2, 1, playing it. Uh, so I think there's a conversation to be had. You've done 4 purloins, and your picks
The
were
best map to do purloin on. Like, don't get me wrong, the other maps were very exposed. Like, if you don't purloin on this map, I mean, th- don't you just want a set where you purloined every single spy game? That sounds like a
Okay.
fun spy set to me.
We're not starting off with a purloin. We're starting off with the fingerprintable briefcase and the knowledge that we can also get a blue book in the future if we want to just really push the issue. Nice bounce. I don't
Ooh,
think that was
really, really clean bounce. That was really sick. And to note, we all have also picked Smallman as the Amba, so going to be really hard to see the Ambassador at all, especially in this back conversation, if that situation happens.
I
And look at the
really
prints, Blue Book, both statues now. Like these are piling up.
yeah. I mean, if it wasn't the ambassador, Smallman would be incredibly suspicious. I just want to shout out to Pay Attention 007, who's just joined the lobby,
Banana
and
bread.
one of my favorite Spy Party specific usernames. It's fantastic. This
Good
banana
one.
bread is another fake. We've done a lot of those for you, and this one doesn't get the reward that we saw some of the earlier fakes. SDA was in conversation, and so we are going to be credited. It does cover for a 5th purloin. I can see why we're being forced to cast this match. It's getting kind of memey. Uh,
Will we
we
die for the
could
fifth purloin though? We
we die for the
will.
5th purloin.
We cannot purloin for the fifth time and get away with it. It was behind the shoji too. It was pretty well covered, but sadly it was the SDA that took. So even though the fade was not visible, uh, it could only be Ryu at the end there.
Ryu's gotta be a bit disappointed. He's up 5-4 here. Uh, he's getting a lot of spy wins, and he just needs to close it out on sniper. Now he's been playing balcony and high rise, and so getting sniper wins on those maps is never going to be guaranteed. But he's played so well on spy and hitting 4 out of his 5 purloins have been green. If he doesn't end up winning this set, I think he's going to feel like he's left something on the table on his sniper side.
Absolutely. I mean, purloin is a fairly risky mission in general. Even if you do green, it becomes so first purloin becomes like 80% better when you green it. Just it becomes way stronger, so much harder to track. So if one, you do have to hit the green, but then two, after that, it could still, like as Kaylee has previously shown, that purloining can just lead you to death over and over again.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to do lots of purloins against Kaylee. Because it results in shots. Like if anybody's been doing the daily challenges, and particularly like the level 6, level 7, just playing against people who've played all too much Spy Party, and you'll note in a long-term sense there just aren't many purloin games, especially like early purloins, because someone dies when you are taking the list, especially in these banana bread purloin games that Rio's just been forcing down our neck over and over again, for Lazybear at least, and and us as casters. Someone's going to die, and 3 out of 5 times it has not been the spy.
All right, we'll now get into it. We've got Lazy Bear looking to try to tie this up on Tan as Papa Danger. This is a good map to do it in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Thank you for doing the countdown. I appreciate.
I'll save you from your timing.
Oh goodness. So one thing to note: this is Lazy Bear's first game with Purloin on.
Will he purloin? Probably not. This map, it's pretty good to do it. This setup though is really unfortunate for Lazy Bear. You really would like the first and second shoji to be reversed, just so that there's as little visibility as possible to the back. So this is going to be pretty tricky. Although maybe a purloin on the right side would be obscured.
Yeah. Uh, Recall Track did put out the statistics for the shoji, and the stats did actually kind of not show what we truly believe, at least in the few games that we had on Tien in
Banana bread.
the late half of SCL 5. We'll see how the stats look in SCL 6. Banana Bread's pretty good, though we do lose a highlight here who's at statues and Mom out front. 67% a-okay spot. We're actually in a fine spot if we want to take the timer flirt. And we're in a good spot for some reverse drive-bys, though that's not the path that we wanted from Ambassador.
Yeah, with the reverse bug, this front CC can work. It's just a little bit closer to the sniper. Ideally, you want to be in the back CC, just because you have the first CC, all those people in there as cover for you. Just makes that bug even more powerful.
A question for you, Yeesh. Do you know why Smallman's highlight? Is it just being Smallman, or
I
have you
think
seen
it is
something
just
differently?
being Smallman. I do believe he went to a statue as well, so getting briefcase, getting statue, I think Smallman might be top suspect here.
Yeah, I think Ryu's had the nastier spy games so far. Though it has just been a very Route 1 BB Purloin every game and see if you win. Uh, Lazy Bear's got a bit more mix-up, and him playing a Smallman game on Tan definitely now out of his scope. This is something that uh, Lazy Bear does like his tricks and plays, and something you have to be even more suspicious of what is already an incredibly suspicious situation.
And look at this play. I do like this play quite a lot. Doesn't end up really working out because Smallman joins us, but Lazy Bear saw that Ryu is holding the far left there. So he knows that, hey, this back left window is going to be available to time at. I will just be completely invisible. Smallman
Every
obviously
time
joining us hurt us.
Every time Purloin's been available, that list has been taken. We're now 6 games out of 6, but Ryu is 1 for 1 on
The
No!
safety was off.
Wow!
I can't
He
believe he didn't
he
shoot.
doesn't take the shot! And we got a bug in there somewhere. I don't even remember what?
That was right after the purling. We just took a bug. It was a Twitch bug, which made it even better. Although it is a little bit weird to do with Papa Danger. I guess when you're not doing it with the cane arm, the Twitch bug is actually pretty good. So that's something to keep in mind. And I think Ryu was just maybe looking for the bug at the end there, and just didn't see it and was like, "Oh, Lazy Bear doesn't have Papa Danger doesn't have bug. He can't be done. I'll just let him time out."
Yeah, it's hard to say. Maybe Ryu, I mean, he's over in France. I can't imagine that it's a great time to be watching this cast, but the uh the reality is, like, you have to assume that Flirt's done. It's usually done by most people on Tan, unless you're incredibly only watching Flirt. Banana Bread we definitely had. And so it's either Purloin or Bug that's missed. And I think because we did them in quick succession, usually you see Banana Bread covering for Bug, or Banana Bread covering for Purloin. Purloin covering for Bug is a bit rare, and because he did the Twitch Bug, and it was just generally well executed, and we're not willing to shoot for the white test on the purloin, uh, it all ends up being a play that you don't get to have the opportunity to do much, but I think you should be taking when you have the opportunity every time. If you're not taking this bug right now, uh, in your own spy games, you should be.
Right? And now Lazy Bear has tied it up, and this is his map, as you were saying. He's been amazing on Aquarium so far. Let's see if he can keep up that dominance with Ryu as spy in 3, 2, 1, playing it. This
Yeah,
is
I'm
a
not
case where
sure.
I think Disney is good as well as a good pick. He is a fast character, and he can kind of almost hide completely behind the shark and use it to its full cover when going from side to side on the map.
Yeah, so the scariest people on Aquarium are gonna be small men Wheels has also been pretty scary, just because they're a bit easier to do like bugs in the middle conversation. Ambassador's in a really dangerous spot right now. Someone like General, who's just done a path kind of near the Ambassador, but all behind Shark, might be credited with a bug. Ryu's forcing another early briefcase. We saw this on Tien too,
Oh, we do the
and
delegate out of it. That was
oh, that's
so
nasty.
clever. I really like that. He made sure to position himself so that the briefcase, he's inside the conversation while he's picking up the briefcase, so that he can cheese that by. The thing is, Lazy Bear just might know who's been to drink to the bar. There hasn't been that many people yet, but that kind of
Yeah,
play is definitely not going to pin any particular person down.
yeah, it's not going to give you more suspicion, which is why the play is really good. The problem is it just hasn't been like an incredibly busy bar. We were one of the first people to it, and the people who are at it are getting low lit pretty aggressively. I'm looking at the sniper side. We got four people who aren't the ambassador, uh, who are highlight or neutral light, and we are now sitting at neutral. There's only one highlight and three missions to do. There's fingerprints around, but I have suspicion we're gonna take a bullet if we try to finish in any way that isn't incredibly clever.
Yeah, and although Lazy Bear does not highlight for bar, he does try to remember exactly
Banana
who went
bread.
to bar. So as long as his memory does not fail him, uh, then the people that are low lit are going to be perfect. The only way Lazy Bear can really get tricked on the bar is if he gets like overwhelmed. Like if 12 people go to the bar at once and it gets too difficult to remember.
Yeah, Lazy Bear's got a bit of luxury here because there's so few suspects. Things like that potential reverse drive-by bug from Twin can just be double zoomed. That path is
That
not pretty, and you have to
yeah.
shoot for it if you're in platinum, and that's a fingerprintable statue. It's just all sorts of bad.
Is it fingerprintable?
Yeah, it's had a fingerprint for like 2 minutes.
Yeah, it has. I thought somebody else picked it up, but no, yeah.
And
That
still be
that's just
difficult.
gonna
It'd
be
still be
a print.
difficult.
But
He's
yeah,
still
that
gonna.
just the path into it is just yeah, egregious. I don't know what happened there actually. I think he probably went too far right and then Damon's hitbox messed with him. I think Ryu is trying to get like onto the very like bottom right corner, sort of like what you've been talking
Maybe
about recently where
maybe
it's
it
like
was.
you try to get on the edge of the pad because it looks AI like,
Oh,
but then just kind of gets uh
don't bring in Falcon
left
hit
with
meta
Damon.
to me. I think he might have also just realized that he was just passing towards the wrong pad entirely, and then tried to save it, and then just completely butchered it. Um, don't do curvy paths into statues. Aquarium's incredibly. If you watch just for a minute, you'll see AI really like their geometry. But we only had four suspects, and we were only one of two for a real banana bread. So even if it's not for the path and it's a shot for just completing missions, really it was us and Smallman.
Now, Lazy Bear on a hot streak, 3 in a row. Can he make it 4 in a row as Irish on Aquarium in three, two, one, playing it?
Yeah. So let's talk about tech, because I still haven't played track, so we're not gonna get too open. But the reality is, for middle shark, unless you're doing time ads, the last middle shark happens at 40 seconds, or more or less 40 seconds. So if you're going to be doing something with middle shark, it needs to be a relatively quick game. You can't be trying to finish during the last 30 seconds, overtime, whatever. Um, the brief, like the bookcase stuff, obviously, like if you have a lower shark, you might have a lower shark in the last 20 seconds, but at that point, you're really risking it.
Yep, and
You
that's another play you can go off of too. So you either play off the middle shark in the last 40 seconds, or you see which one you start with. The one you start with is the one you'll end with as well. So if you start with the top shark, the last like 15 to 20 seconds will also be a top shark. So you can maybe say, all right, late game delegate will be completely blocked. The fade won't be visible. So that's something you can also play off of as well. Just looking at how the start goes.
We do have the 51, which is good for getting that quick pace. And if we just get the timer flare, another 51 here, maybe? Yeah, this is a really good start. There's also really full conversations. The reality is, if this does become like a meta thing and everybody just becomes much better at Aquarium, there are still ways to finish that aren't incredibly tricksy. You can just go to a back statue and swap. This is
Do
classic
that.
Aquarium garbage. Ambassador comes in middle statue. We have middle shark, and we just take the really cheeky bug. It does
And the
stick.
red.
And that is
We
the
can.
power of Middle Shark. If you are in that top conversation and Middle Shark happens, you have to credit all the people in the mid conversation with Bug, unless you are exact on your spatial awareness. Like,
Well,
it is capable to catch someone like, oh, their position was not the exact same as it was before Middle Shark happened, but it's very difficult to do that.
Lazy Bear moving towards this statue, and I can tell you from experience that's going to be a middle shark here coming in about 12 seconds. It'll probably be a swap here in the second cycle,
Yeah,
and
he's
Lazy
not
Bear's in a.
inspecting, so you know it's a
Yeah, no,
swap,
this is a swap, 100%. Middle
and
shark
he's
comes,
waiting.
does
Oh,
not
he
clank
saw him
it.
put it down. He's just hiding. He's running behind the shark. He's just
He's
full
no
hiding.
chance.
He's
Lazy Bear
full
knows it.
hiding.
He could banana bread here, by the way. Yep.
Just full hiding behind Middle Shark. That is so cheeky. Just saying, hey, I know you can't shoot me here because the shark completely blocks me. That is a last mission. Is so disgusting. You can't do anything about that either from Ryu's perspective. I just don't think that's shootable unless you
Yeah.
shoot ahead of time. If you don't shoot ahead of time, you
Yeah,
see
there
the put
was a
down at the
chance
last
to.
second.
Yeah, there was a chance to see the swap. A
Yeah,
very
he did
slight
see it.
chance.
Once he sees the put down,
Yeah, I mean he
I'm
would
not
have
seeing.
basically had to have been scoped in already.
Oh, there's a chance, like at two
Yeah,
seconds, you can tilt and see her feet. That is the only shot you get.
Because Lazy Bear decides to go for the triple cough.
BMBB.
yep.
Yeah. So yeah, just to give you guys a bit of history, we have had this for a long time, but like not before SCL. I can tell you when I found it because I was suggesting 5 of 8 aquarium casually when we decided to not have Modern. I think originally we found the left swap first, and we're doing it as Smallman, and then I realized it was 100% covered as Smallman on the right statue, and then we realized you can do it with anybody, and it's nasty.
I
And
mean, it seemed like a pretty obvious strat. Like you could come up with on day one and
you
just.
say
Right,
that, Kratos, but nobody
exactly.
else has bothered to do it.
Yeah, I
Right, no,
mean,
and
it's
it's
one of those
just the
things
first
where you
time it's
go.
been done in SCL,
Yeah, it's just
right?
it seemed
So,
like it had been obvious, but yeah, just something that nobody had done really effectively anyway.
Yeah.
right. And maybe
Um.
we'll see this become meta, and then obviously once it becomes meta, oh, the guy is going to this statue at 50 seconds left.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
And then you just like, does this guy have bug contact Sidis?
yeah.
So maybe we'll see more development on that. Maybe we'll see an ability to shoot through the shark,
No, I
possibly
mean,
to avoid that happening, or some
this
way to
is the
avoid
last
that.
cast of the week, so I can actually say it. I've had conversations with Kuma Kid and Sped Monkey who were trying to do the same thing, and Kuma Kid just shot him for going to the statue before he ever had the opportunity. We were already seeing the meta evolve quite quickly. Um, so it's going to be interesting, and Ryu knew this coming in. He decided to restrict Aquarium, and he did get 2-0'd on Aquarium. Um, he played. I'm not. Is it good spy? He played the same spy 5 times and won 3 games. So he did do enough on his spy side to win the
Yeah.
set in most cases, but he let uh four sniper Lazy Bear win 4 sniper spy games. He lost 4 sniper games, and if you're in platinum, the expectation is going to be that most sets are going to be sniper favored. Though these are 2 of the best spies in the game.
And with the
Definitely,
maps we played also were extremely volatile.
yeah.
That's the other important thing to note is that although these snipers are going to be very consistent on maps like gallery, ballroom, library, they're not going to be as consistent on like redwoods, tan, aquarium, balcony. It's just unreasonable to expect that. That's maybe why these maps are getting picked more at this higher level, just because you need more of a chance versus these snipers that are just too good on these standard maps.
Yeah. Just look at the standings. So this is gonna be another uh feather for Lazy Bear's hat. He gets through the first half of the season without a loss, which is fantastic. We've seen a similar thing from year end in Diamond. He did have 2 ties, ties against Poppy and Screwloose, the more surprising one. Ryu's not in a bad spot though. Ryu is exactly at 500. He's won 2, lost 2, and then tied against you actually in the first game. And I do think Ryuu's in a good spot, honestly. I think Ryu has potential to beat anybody, and unfortunately, does have potential to also lose to anybody.
Yeah, there are a handful of games that have not been played yet. Most of them Yeesh related, but you know,
Yeah.
that's how SCL goes, especially Platinum.
Yep.
Um.
For,
The
with me, my schedule's been crazy. I've been moving. We'll see if I can make it work. If not, I
Yeah,
might have to drop. But
yeah, but that could. I
because
mean, that
I'm
could.
about to forfeit, but
Yeah,
we'll have to see.
that could shake up Platinum though if you.
I'll start worrying about you Yeesh when you have less games played than Checker.
Uh-huh.
The reality is, and I think this should be said, especially with the people in Oak who we've just had a huge amount of people come in, and I'm really thankful for it. Oak now has a uh full lineup, but the scheduling's been a bit rough. People like one, the rules are already flexible, and we are pretty flexible. If you're having trouble scheduling, like make it clear, tell people, but we'll work with you. The TOs are fantastic. Kaylee being a busy man himself. So that being said, also going over the back to the standings there for bronze. Tunnel's in the lead. He's got 5 games in, which isn't true for everybody in the division. But he's got 8 points, and he also kept Matty Dewar from having his perfect season. This is Matty Dewar's first non-win, though Matty Dewar can still go undefeated if they just continue to get wins and draws and avoid losses.
Yep.
Uh, we should see them expectingly in the playoffs. So there is a large amount of people who are doing quite well in bronze. There's 4 people with 7 points tied for second.
I mean, it's still a race. I think everyone's playing really well, and I think you can clearly tell how the spies now, especially at the lower level, are just improving really rapidly. And just a matter of which snipers can really catch up to those spies.
We started our SCL careers back in SCL2 against each other. And to anybody who's joining SCL and going, I'm nervous, I'm shaky,
Right. No,
I
it's
have the
like
jitters.
we were worse than you. I promise you
we,
that. We were
our,
so bad.
our spy play was good. Our spy play, I look back at it and I don't regret too many of my decisions. My sniper play, I'm just like, dude, I can literally see your laser going back and forth because you've got the shakes. Uh, we had 7 spy wins. The sets only went to at most 8 games. We had 7 spy wins, and then you lost an action priority. I shot him for picking up a briefcase um, from under the ambassador. So it's like, if you're considering joining SCL and going, I don't want it to be too competitive. Like one, I want to make sure it's understood. Everybody's nervous. You're not alone. And two, this is for fun. Like there's no
Prize
glory.
money.
We're
It's
playing
just
for glory.
exactly. And then yeah, we're all everyone in the community is willing to help you out too. So
Oh, for
always feel
sure.
free to uh, talk in the Discord, discord.gg/spyparty if you are interested in more info. Also buy the game spyparty.com, $25 or on Steam, $25. Get that
And also
forum access if you buy it on the site.
chess.com. Chess is cool again.
Yeah, apparently,
So
yeah, SpyParty players like chess. Is what I've
What a
uh,
heard.
surprise! A strategy 1v1 game.
Yeah.